Hello folks, Sam Owens here, and I have a product that maybe a lot of homeowners don't have that you will find might be valuable to you. And this is from Vevor, and it is a multimeter. And it's got a lot of features, and you're going to see information about it up to the right, so pause when you need to and find out a little bit more. Right here is what you call it's a TRMS clamp multimeter, and this is the user manual, and this is the unit itself, and you get a nice little zip-up case, and you get a thermocoupler. This thing can read temperatures of items, liquids, and it's got a large range, so it might be valuable for things. And you get a set of test meter cords. And that is pretty much it. And I'm going to go through some of the basic features that a homeowner probably would like to know how to use this meter for. And you may never have used a multimeter, but I'm going to give you some basics to get you up to speed, and you'll see how easy it is to use and how helpful it can be. All right, let's start with the user manual. It's like 20 pages of English, and that's what we're going to cover. It's going to give you information about the indicators and readings that you're going to get and how to operate it. So they're very simple and basic, and this is not a complicated meter that the professional people would use, but it's great for homeowners, I think. And also professionals could use it in their toolbox. It has a lot of applications that might lend well. Say when you get your meter, you should look through this and try to get familiar a little bit with it, and it will really help you out when you get ready to start doing it. And so I think that's about all I need. Measuring resistance, continuity tests, that is probably something that a homeowner would want to know. You got an old-fashioned light bulb or something, not these LEDs, but the old with a filament in it. If you still have some of those, and you want to check, is that thing good? Or a fuse. You can check fuses for continuity. You just want to know, is it good or bad? This has a setting for that. I'm going to go through the basic settings and readings that you can do with this. All right, now let's start with the basics. You have a couple of things here, these are test clips, and one is black and one is red, and that's basically how they all are. And I'm going to show you here. They're all coiled up, so they need to be trained. Now, both ends of these are kind of protected. Right here, you cannot go into the common area. Black goes to common because there's a protective cover. Now, you don't really need that, so you might want to just store that somewhere else as something easy to lose, and that goes there. And then you have another one on the red one, and that goes there. Now, the thing about these test cords is they will be used if you want to test some circuits or something, or like a outlet. You want to see if there's power on it. Well, it has other features for telling if there's power, but we're just saying for the test leads, usually you're trying to do circuit test or across something to find out if it's good or bad. Now, one other thing about these test leads is you can pull these ends off, because see how short they are, And if you wanted to go in, and this is in the off position, it wouldn't matter if you did anything with it on. Now, for the folks that really don't know a lot about electricity, as I go, I'm going to give you a little basic electricity training just to kind of help you along. All AC outlets in the home have these three for the power. The little short one, and it's shorter than the other one, which is longer. The short one is your hot lead, and this is your neutral lead right here, and here is your ground protection lead right here. Now I'm going to show you that if you wanted to go in there real quickly and you had your leads on there, hot is red, so you can just stick that in there, and that's the reason for taking these off if you need to reach in someplace. And then you can plug this into the ground or neutral, and then what you do is turn this dial from off up here to V. That's for voltage, and that is AC and DC. It doesn't matter because there's another switch that you're going to put. It comes up in DC, but you hit the select button and it goes to AC. And you're not hurting anything. You can put this anywhere. It's automatic and it's self-adjusting. And right here is how you go back to DC or AC on the select button. 122.9 volts. That's the standard voltage in your house. Okay, now if we're going to do a continuity test, like I pointed out before, is I want to see if something is open. Okay, you can actually see that this fuse is good in that you can see the little metal inside the clear plastic, but sometimes they're different colors and you may not be able to see it, and it could be burned out and you just cannot see the break that it's so small. But one surefire way of testing continuity now, that's just to find out is it able to conduct flow of electricity. And what you do is get your meter into this area right here, and you want, for continuity, you want this little signal right there. It looks like a volume control, but it's for continuity test. And then right here, we're in ohms, but you go over here, that's diode test, that's ohms, and right there is the little signal. And it's an audible sound that you'll hear if the continuity test passes. So what you do is just touch them here. Okay, now I'm going to touch one side. Let me put it on here so you can see it good. And I can either side, either color, doesn't matter. That means that fuse is good. We can test to see if this outlet is hot. Very easy and quick without any test cords at all. And what we do is go to the NCV right here. And what we do is, this is a sensor of anything that has AC flowing, you'll be able to hear it. So I'm going to touch the top. It just blinks a little bit and there's a little light there, but I'll touch the bottom, which is hot. Can you see that? See how? Okay, I touch the top and it's just clicking. If I touch on up above it, you don't hear it. If I touch down here, so this is a sensor for testing electricity. Very handy if you're rewiring a light fixture or a fan. You can touch the leads and find out which one's the hot one. And you'll know if it's safe to work on something by this. I can just go anywhere along. That's got electricity right there. Anywhere you've got exposure, this will help you. If you got a bare wire, you can tell it. Okay, so that is very handy. You don't even have to open it. Okay, the reason you have these claws is to test current, and we're going to do that next. A lot of times you say, why do I want to know about current? Well, in your house you have circuit breakers that are 15 amp or 20 amp, and you're plugging a lot of things into them. Well, you may have a hair dryer that you want to find out how much current is it flowing so that I can see if I'm going to exceed the current range. Or if you're blowing a fuse, you'll be able to test and see which unit is causing the blown fuse or blown circuit breaker. Let's try that. Now, one thing about checking for AC current now, and it would also be on DC, is in the book they also tell you in the instructions is you have to only get one individual leg of the circuit. And most times when you've got an extension cord like this, and let me get this off, you can't just clip around here because you have the hot lead and the neutral and the ground, which cancels out any kind of field in there. So you don't have any way of getting access when you're dealing with units that have, or devices that have a plug. But I got a way around it that you might want to make yourself a little test cord. And what it requires you to do is take an old extension cord that you cut with your hedge trimmer, which I did with this, and you strip back some insulation and you put you a female end on one side and the male on the other, and this can be either way, it doesn't matter. But this will allow you to clip on like that, the hot lead. I have a bench grinder over there, and let's see how much current it draws. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in 60 amps right there, and I'm going to have it in AC right there. 0. You can't read current through multi-wires. You have to have a single leg. I'm going to show you how to get around this. All right, now we're going to set up the meter to read AC amps, and I know I'm under 60 amps with this circuit of a 20 amp circuit. So I'm going to take it from off and I'm going to go up to 60 amp, and then I also need to take it out of DC and I want AC, so I hit select, and now I'm on AC, and that's what we want to read. The decimal point, anything to the right, is milliamps, and then over here that's your amperage right there. All right, now I'm going to connect the clamp by pushing this, put it on there like that, and I'm going to turn the grinder on, and you're going to see the current go way up and then settle back down. Now watch this, because anytime you turn a big heavy motor on, it really winds up heavy current. All right, here we go. Let's see what it'll do. I'm going to try to turn this on while you watch. 6.7, dropping down to 2 amps right there. All right, now I'm going to turn it off. So we saw that you do get a surge. Now, if you've got a lot of circuits on that with the grinder, you could blow a fuse with that extra surge if the others, like a toaster, were on there. So that's what the advantage of having a way of testing your current. You can do it. Is it will also check temperature. Let's go to the temperature, and right there is a temp place, and what you get is a thermocoupler. And what this is a way of getting the meter to be able to read temperatures. It defaults to home temperatures, and what you do is you put the negative in the common right here. See, there's actually negative and positive, and they go right in here like that. And it's only one wire, and the end is there's a little solder bulb right there, and that's where you want to touch to find out what the temperature of something is. And it'll right away be in Celsius, and to select Fahrenheit you click that, and right away it's measuring the temperature of the garage right here, 78 degrees, and it's pretty accurate. So now if I want to check the heat of my heat gun and see how hot it gets on the two different settings, this is what you can do. Right here, this has two, I think it's 700 watts and 1400 watts heat gun to melt things. Okay, and shrink wrap and what have you. I can plug it in, and this is the same temperature. It's cold. All right, now I'm going to turn this on and let it warm up, and then I'm going to touch it and see what it goes to. Okay, this is the lowest setting, and there it's reading up 98, 100. Keeps on going. 230. 250. 270. That's kind of how, just a simple way of testing, just to see what kind of a temperature something is. You can put this in liquids to find out how hot something is, so you have a temperature gauge on this meter, and it lets you figure out how it best helps you around the home, in your car, your boat, whatever. It has a hertz setting. Hertz are cycles, and your AC in your house is 60 cycles. You may have heard that. You know, it works on 60 cycles, and it's always on the specs of the cycles that the electricity is. Sometimes you have generators. Well, they may not be set up totally on 60 cycles, so you may want to check it sometime. So we're going to check the cycles of our AC here. And what you do is put the red in the meter there, and we get the black in the common, and this is always the way you hook it up. And then what you do is you put this on hertz, and then you stick this into the common and this into the hot. And right there we have 60 cycles here. Other countries have 50 cycles. So this is just something you can check, that if something's not right on your generator or something or other, you'll be able to test cycles, which might be something of importance to you. You have a way of setting. I haven't seen that on a lot of meters, so this covers just about anything and everything that you would need around the home to help you to keep from calling that guy out that has one of these meters, and now you can do it yourself. But I would advise you to be cautious with AC current, the house current. It is a little bit on the dangerous side, so you might want to learn a little bit, or take some courses or something to get a little more information about electricity, so you are safe in working with it. Okay? All right. That is pretty much a great little meter that I really like, and it's going to help me a great deal. So I want to thank you very much for watching my video.